Kenyans have questioned a controversial business tycoon, the tenderpreneur, that is Wicknell Chivhayo, for his frequent visit, particularly in Kenya. Wicknell Chivhayo is known for receiving tenders that he does not, he doesn't account for. For example, in Zimbabwe, numerous tenders have been received by Wicknell Chivhayo, but he has failed to deliver on those tenders. For example, the Gwanda solar project. On their paper, which is called the Daily Nation, the Kenyans queried. There is a headline which says "Queries on Tycoon State House Visits," and there is a picture of Wicknell Chivhayo. This picture that I put, as well as also the president of that country. Wicknell Chivhayo has been seen with numerous heads of state across the African continent. And we know that Wicknell Chivhayo is a business partner of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Does this mean spreading interest of the business interest of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa all over the continent? Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So let me read the story that was covered by this newspaper, National News in Kenya, by David Mwere. It says, on January 11, controversial Zimbabwe and businessman Wicknell Chivhayo, also known as Sir Wicknell, flew to Sangana State Lodge in Nyeri County to meet President William Ruto and his deputy Kitari Kindiki. Mr. Chivhayo, who is notorious in his country for a previous money laundering conviction, would later share photographs on social media praising the pair. Despite questions surrounding his integrity, Mr. Chivhayo has become a familiar face in the corridors of power, hobnobbing with the high and mighty. In an article published by the BBC on June 2025, he described himself as a hustler with a Midas touch who works hard. The BBC says, for years, Sir Wicknell, as he calls himself, has boasted about his riches on Instagram. While he is open about how he spends his money, he is less so about how he makes it, as he faces scrutiny over the source of his wealth in a country where life is a daily struggle for most people. The BBC continues, but his close ties with power, which have allowed him to become rich, mean that he will always fly close to controversy. BBC cites Cry Havoc, a 2011 memo by British mercenary and coup plotter Simon Mann, in which he recalls his time with Wicknell in Zimbabwe's Chikurubi maximum prison. The former British Army officer wrote, he is well-educated fellow inmate. Wicknell warned him never to criticize ZANU-PF. According to the BBC, the pair was in the same cell, man serving 4 years for his role in a failed coup attempt in Equatorial Guinea in 2004, and Chivhayo a couple of years for fraud. In Africa, the unsolicited gift is massively powerful. Men quoted Wicknell as saying, a seemingly prophetic comment. Between them, they paid in cigarettes for the services of a prisoner serving 94 years for armed robbery to do their laundry. Man said Chivhayo insisted on referring to him as their butler. Chivhayo visited Kenya State House several times last year, and in April he met Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan at an event facilitated by Dr. Ruto. This evening, I was yet again highly honored to pay a courtesy visit to His Excellency President William Ruto at State House in Nairobi, Kenya, in my second home. And as always, His Excellency welcomes me with the greatest sense of belonging. Each meeting with the President is a treasured opportunity, as I am consistently enriched by His infinite wisdom on living. Let me just zoom the words. On living a purposeful life that gratifies God. He said in his 2026 New Year message. However, the opposition has now raised concern about his questionable past and the supply of election materials in South Africa and Namibia. This is bound to raise eyebrows as the country heads into elections next year. The claim that Mr. Chivhayo is linked to the disputed elections in the two nations due to his involvement in the supply of poll materials. The united opposition's concerns echo those previously raised by former Azimio leader Raila Odinga regarding involvement of Venezuela Jose Camargo in the outcome of the 2022 presidential election, which Odinga had unsuccessfully contested in the Supreme Court. Odinga died last October. Ozimio's complaint centered on how the supply of the multi-billion shilling Kenya integrated election management system kits was awarded to a Venezuelan firm, Smartmatic, and on Mr. Camargo's involvement. Mr. Camargo was found in possession of election materials just days before voting began. With the 2027 election approaching, the united opposition is demanding a free and fair process and is calling on President Ruto to declare his relationship with Mr. Chivhayo. So Chivhayo, Kenyans automatically afraid, a lot of questions being raised by the people of Kenya. Definitely, Wicknell Chivhayo is now seen and perceived by a lot of Africans as a conman when it comes to elections, because each and every country where Wicknell Chivhayo is involved in elections becomes chaotic. So at least the Kenyans are raising it before time. We will be watching that one. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us.